So, I ran into all this and started a long investigation. And I've, freaked out, yelled and screamed on air because I knew all this financial implosion was coming. I knew that was their goal. And then even worse stuff comes after that. I mean, here's the deal, folks. It's going to get real bad. Things are wonderful right now compared to what they're going to be. You're not going to have the internet like you have it now. I'm not probably going to be on the air. And I mean, that's on the good end. This just gets worse and worse and worse. And I'm telling you, this is a process. This is a program of enslavement. Richard, finish up.
Well, I only got one more thing to say, and that is that when I first started listening to you back in the old KJFK days, and I started warning people, they were laughing at me. And now they're not. A lot of them have woken up, and that's how we're going to win this thing if we don't get the message out to everybody we can.
Well, it's not just Ron Paul. I appreciate your call. It's not just Ron Paul. There's several other congressmen. One of them up there out of New Hampshire, was asked, the name slips me, I can pull it up. We played the clips on air. He said, why aren't you guys impeaching Bush? And he said, because they'll just declare martial law and basically arrest the Congress. They've been told that, folks. And then the British Ministry of Defense puts out a report last year saying that if parliaments or Congress or the people try to take over the capitals, like something out of V for Vendetta, they're just going to detonate a neutron bomb. That doesn't destroy one building, doesn't destroy any infrastructure. It fries. It sends a radiation wave through all life forms. That's cockroaches, turtles, buzzards, bees, dragonflies, sparrows, humans, polar bears at the zoo. Everything dies. And, there's ways to get around that. We politically take over every county, every city, educate everybody, get the military and police educated to where they see through this. And then people just start saying no and have general strikes and just have a mass revelation, as Anthony Hilder's always said. A revelation is something that just, literally spreads like wildfire. An awakening, which has really been happening in slow motion, but it's starting to quicken. The enemy's quickening as well. Then we can avert that. But no march on Washington. The Congress can't do it now. They're all scared, folks. And this new bailout plan says decisions by the Secretary pursuant to the authority of this act are non-reviewable and committed to agency discretion and may not be reviewed by any court of law or any administrative agency. It allows them to take over any banking, any houses, any governments. It's total financial martial law by the Federal Reserve. And I've got the act here in front of me. It is unbelievable. It is dictatorship of the bankers. Who did they tell you in the mainstream news a few months ago, as I told you years ago? What did they say? They said, you will be paying your global carbon tax to an international consortium of banks. You're going to pay your taxes to them. The military is going to work for them. Everything. Do you understand? A pop culture analogy is when the private corporation, in RoboCop takes over the city. And says, well, that's the deal. Well, that's basically, they're telling you there what they're really doing. And it's all here in black and white. This is not a bailout. This is a complete takeover. Anthony J. Hilder, we're really honored to have you here with us. You made films decades ago about their plan to do this because you'd seen them do it in many other nations. Break down what we see happening right now financially.
Well, this is financial Armageddon. First of all, it's not a recession. It's a depression. And we're going full bore into it. It's Osama bin Laden that is attacking this country. Well, no, I've got to rephrase that. It's Osama bin Bush. That's the reality. The Osama bin Ladens that we hear about have been dead for years. But this is alive. They're attacking every bank account. They're attacking every home. They're attacking every child. They're attacking every mother, every child to be. They're after. They want us all. They want us numbered. There's an invasion coming from south of the border. That's only because the Latinos will accept a biochip in exchange for a citizenship. So
and by the way, they are chipping the Mexican police, and they're making the Attorney General feds for 4 years take chips. That's MSNBC. This isn't a joke.
We have a film, it's called Citizen Chip 666. They exchange their freedom for the citizenship. And it is all in the works now. There isn't anything you have. There isn't anything you ever had or ever hoped to have. They're not planning on taking away. They want it all, and this is the coup de grace. If this thing goes through, they're going to put this hammer is going to come down like a guillotine on the back of your head. This is financial Armageddon. If it doesn't come, they're going to create the crisis for the control. It's ordo ab chao. When you see this on the side of the Masonic buildings, it means something. They have a reason for doing this. It is a satanic Luciferian agenda. When you have somebody like Paulson and Bernanke from the Council on Foreign Relations saying this is what we must have, don't be afraid, be very afraid. We have to have a revelation. We have to have every single listener get on the phone to the congressman, just the numbers, because they don't listen to what you have to say, but they look at the numbers. If we make it impossible for them to do this, then we will avoid this. But even if we avoid it, they will create another crisis to bring about control.
And Anthony, it's not like we just started saying this. I mean, my book, written 6.5 years ago, Descent into Tyranny, the last chapter said they do this in around 2008, 2009, because I had their own documents. It's not hard when they're telling you what they're going to do. And then 3 years ago, we got our info out of the Bilderberg group saying they were going to start it with the housing collapse by design. I mean, it's not just like we're pointing our finger now. They say, it's even in mainstream news, that they're privatizing the Treasury and then letting them have select rules where they can consolidate all the other banking and financials. And
they own the money system. We have to get the money system out of their hands. When Henry Kissinger met with Sarah Palin yesterday, I took a look at that. It's like, the angel meeting with the devil, but the angel is influenced by the devil. We have our preachers from the podium saying, we must go in this direction. We must get ready. I'm talking about the Robertsons.
They admittedly are on the government payroll. It's not even a secret.
And then I'm going to a convention this weekend. This is the Bay Area UFO convention, and I'll give you a number on that later. But at the convention, they're going to be talking about the use of UFOs, or the illusion of a second coming through Operation Bluebeam. In fact, Kissinger had made the statement. He said, today America would be outraged if UN troops entered Los Angeles to restore order. Tomorrow they will be grateful, especially if they had this outside threat from beyond that was uncontrollable. They didn't know what to do. They were in the streets, and along came a voice and said, "Follow us." It's like
Anthony, explain to people what Operation Bluebeam is. The government has declassified that they have plans to project, 3,000 foot tall Jesus, Buddha, UFOs, what they've been projecting above Dallas.
In every section of the world where it would be, where the Muslims would find out what they believe would be coming, and the Christians would see, Christ. They would see crucifixes. They would have all of this imagery. They've been practicing this for years.
Yeah, there's no doubt they've been preparing with the media and the culture and the Olympic Games ceremonies where they have UFOs, fake UFOs landing, that they've been gearing up for something like this. I don't know if that's what they're planning to pull, but that's certainly in their bag of tricks, of dozens of different tricks. But having the Pope come out and say aliens are real and they're our friends, and having all these astronauts come out and say it's all real, do you think they're preparing the public for this?
Oh, absolutely. There's a preparation. I had the former candidate for mayor in Alaska, in Anchorage, when I had my show up there. He and one of my other listeners went down to Area 51. That's when there wasn't a lot of activity up and down the Highway 375. They went into the Tickaboo Valley. This is about 120 miles north of Vegas. They went out the road towards Area 51, the Groom Lake facility. They parked the car. About 5 minutes later, two cars come up. The Broncos, with the camel dudes, as we would call them. They asked to see their license plate. They wanted to see the driver's licenses. They wanted to find out if they had any cameras on them. They went through a whole series of interrogations and trying to get them to go. And my friend said, well, isn't this BLM land? He said, well, there's bombs that could have been dropped over here. You're in danger. And he said, isn't it BLM land? He says, yes. So they walked. The security guys left. And the two girls and this fellow was frightened. And then I'll tell you the rest of the story.
Well, we're definitely in crazy times with the Pope coming out and saying, get ready for little green men to land, and these astronauts coming out and saying all this, not just one, several of them. CNN, Larry King Live saying aliens are real. And then we're the weirdos for saying, no, it's fake, they're going to stage it. Things are certainly upside down. Stay with us.